Hi, in this video I'm going to have a look at the Kingdom threat or the Golem and seeing how I can improve my damage that I do by using the right heroes and the right troop composition. There are some other ways to do that, like using temporary boost, customizing your Tomes of War to focus on doing damage. I'm not going to focus on those because I don't really find it worth it, but the small steps, just making a right setup is worth it in my eyes. Let's see, did I already, what I do normally do is use a march capacity boost, and I also use my colossal march. And then let's go. So actually, I'm not using the newest heroes. I'm still using Kiara and King Lot because I feel they have their march talents are better focused on doing damage. The other ones are definitely better for player versus player combat, but I'm not convinced they are better for the player versus engine combat, that where it's just focused on doing damage, at least that type of combat. I see that I have to manually increase my troops a bit. March capacity keeps increasing. I plan to do a little bit more research that increases my march capacity on Tuesday, at the last day of the current ongoing shop event. And if we look at the damage, and the damage is fluctuating, so that is a bit of makes it a bit difficult to say. So I'm now going to change and use the newest heroes, and this doesn't right away say if it is better. Doesn't right away say that it's always better. Then we would have to do some tests. Maybe if we do 5 of each, then probably we get a good idea which one is overall better. But if it is quite close, then it can very well be that individual hits are fluctuating, that sometimes with one set of heroes it's better, sometimes with another set of heroes. But let's look. Well, as I expected, we clearly see quite a big difference. So that is for me an indication, okay, let's not use those new heroes, but let's use the little bit older ones that are focused on doing more damage. Can we look at those talents? If we look at Kiara, they do, basically each arrow dealing more base attack. That is nice, and also an extra damage if 2 of those heroes are equipped. So if you both have Kiara and you have King Lot, and for King Lot it is about this one is not so interesting. Lowered enemy cavalry attack. So the extra one, if you have 2 freedom heroes. Bowman attack increased is quite nice. Bowman health not really useful in this scenario. So I would say that King Lot also not that great, but definitely greater than the other ones. If you look at Orlando, so this one is still good. Extra damage. Although I never know with this damage only, does it also have rounds of attack, so that's maybe not so clear. Increases the damage against bowmen, but I think the Golem isn't a bowman, so that is not interesting. And for ear sight is not interesting at all, because that increases the health and defense, and the extra for having 2 gallantry heroes, the extra one reduces enemy bowman attack. Well, that is not useful either for attacking Golem, so that is kind of the motivation why using the older heroes is better. Now, looking a bit at the troop types, what I currently have is 1 cavalry and bowmen of the top 5 tiers. And that works relatively well for me. We can also do a small experiment here, because I haven't experimented a lot. I do feel that it's good to have this critical setup, so only having 6 troop types. Arguably you can, in the past, well, these ones are still focused on bowmen, so that's why I still feel it's good to have relatively a lot of bowmen, not that many cavalry. But we can experiment a bit and say, okay, we are removing that bowman, which is actually not so much. And we are replacing that with cavalry, see whether that makes any difference. So these, you see that there is, these were all the same setup, same hero, same troop configuration, but there is some, quite a few percentage difference in how much damage we can actually cause. This is quite a bit lower than the other one, so for me, a bit of an indication that actually what I was doing is the best setup, so I better continue with that. Well, I'm not going to finish this completely, it gets a bit boring, but this is how I came to focus on my current setup: 1 cavalry, 5 bowmen. If you don't have T13 yet, or if you even have T14, you can probably use something similar, but only then the highest troops that you have, and focus on that. I'm by far not the top 10 when it comes to stats in my kingdom, but still sometimes I'm able to just get into the top 10 or just fall outside of the top 10. So I'm doing relatively well with this setup without having to do a lot of temporary, I do a lot of work specifically for the Golem, like resetting the Tomes of War or things like that, or using gold to activate temporary relics or boosts. Okay, well, that was it for the Kingdom thread. I hope this has been useful. In the end, it's not that important, I would say, but it's still nice if you end up quite high. Also kind of a prestige. So if you have any comments, any questions, any further suggestions, I'm sure there are other ways to further improve the damage that can be done. That is always welcome, and thanks for watching this video.